Cleaning up now, probably about 6 more seconds.
We see my screen, right?
I cannot.
I can see it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And it is live.
All right. Should
Okay,
I let the people in?
you can let the people in. I'm making Stephanie the host. And
Open
then
the door and see all the people.
enjoy. I will review tonight the video.
Don't bother, Bill. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's don't do it.
Here they come.
And Stephanie, you are now the host. Oops, I think I made somebody else the host. Oh darn. No, I got Stephanie. All right. The names start filling in. All right. Welcome to everybody. Stephanie, if you want to take down your screen now.
Okay, got it. Here come all of our friends for hands-on how-to.
Hey, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I sure hope it's Wednesday because that's what it feels like.
Betsy is a reliable participant on hands-on how-to. I love that.
Yeah.
And what's Dr. Chris doing here from Alaska?
She in Alaska yet? I thought she was going to Mexico.
Not Alaska, Galveston, and we haven't left yet because there was a collision of ships and they have to clean up oil before we can go.
That's what happens when you sail out of Texas. All right. Well, we are letting everybody in, and I think we have an exciting program for everybody today. We're going to talk more about podcasting, and we're also going to talk about our Linktree landing pad, which is a parallel portal right now for NWSOFA. So we will include that in our conversations. Sabrina Dollinger is with us, and she is from Lower Alabama or Pensacola area in Florida, depending upon what you call that. So I lived in Florida too long. It's always Lower Alabama to me. I apologize. But yes, so she is here, and she is our podcaster with the mostest. And she is going to take us through just as soon as we let everybody have a time to get here, because we have some folks who show up a couple minutes late, but we're doing pretty good. How you doing today, Sabrina?
I'm good. I'm ready to rock and roll. Actually, while we're waiting, can I get a show of hands of anybody who was here the last time?
And for those of you, we raise our digital hand by using the react button and raising our digital hand. That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a few, and we got some newbies.
Okay. All right. And then the other thing that, well, no, I'll wait until later for that. That's all.
No, I think we're good. I mean, it is 5 minutes after the hour.
Okay.
And those folks that are gonna show up are here, and anybody else is just late. So take it over.
So, just to introduce myself, my name is Sabrina Drollinger, and I have a podcast called Caring for Autism, Profound Uncertainty. It is a podcast about my profoundly autistic son. He has been through everything from stimming and all the, usual things you might see to some pretty aggressive behavior. He was in a facility for about 8 months because his aggression got so bad. So I was in contact with a BCBA, so somebody who does a type of therapy that's best for autism called ABA. And the BCBA connected me with another mother who was going through at that time what I had already gone through with my son. And we'd come out the other end and he was doing well. So I was providing support to her and answering any questions. And we became friends over a year, strictly texting because her son does not allow women to talk around him. So that made it very difficult to have phone conversations. So we actually didn't talk until the first episode of our podcast when we got on Riverside together. So that was a pretty unique start. And the reason we did the podcast, we were both watching the Karen Reed trial. I don't know if you guys watched that. Basically, a lady getting messed over for a murder. And it was a really hot topic at the time. There's tons of TikToks and everything on it. And we would talk about that stuff too. And she was like, let's do a podcast on Karen Reed. And I was like, there's a lot of people who are doing that. I have no particular expertise in that area. I'm not like legal. In fact, I kept calling my sister, who got very annoyed because she was a paralegal for like 20 years. And I'd be like, hey, girl, is this legal? Is this what's supposed to happen in trial? Um, she got very annoyed with me. She's like, I don't want to hear another word about that Karen Reed trial. Anyway, but so there was no like connection. But I said, what we should talk about is being parents of a profoundly autistic child. And the thing with that is it is my life every day for the last 16 years, basically. I have been managing a situation that is extremely difficult and extremely hidden because the behaviors that the children engage in, eventually aggressive behaviors, are difficult to show in public. And so most people hide it because we're afraid the cops will get called or child protective services or somebody else is going to get called on us because they don't understand the situation. So I was like, listen, this would be a great opportunity to educate people. And this is the thing. I didn't think of that on a whim when I was talking to her. I have for 10 years been thinking, how do I help society see what it's like for parents like me? I know there's been reports done and stuff, but they don't go into a lot of the details. And I assume it has a lot to do with the timing of a segment, etc. And I was like, you know what? I'm not afraid to say things. I'll keep my son's dignity intact, but people need to know about this. And the reason is there's a huge lack of resources when it comes to profound autism. And I've even heard people say it destroys families, which is an awful thing to hear when your child has profound autism. You're like, my son did not destroy my family, but the lack of resources made it real freaking hard. And so I guess I just want to change that narrative so that people understand what people like me and Cassie, my co-podcaster, go through. I knew 0% about podcasting. I didn't even listen to podcasts usually. So this was a humongous leap for me, but I'm fairly tech savvy for somebody who doesn't know tech at all, basically. Um, so I started this project, I want to say it was in the spring, maybe like we just first started talking about it in March or something of last year or this year. And it took us, before I got my first episode out, it took a couple months to publish the first episode. So this is not something you can just do on a whim because there's a huge learning curve when it comes to the tech. And the other part of it is what's important. And so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen real quickly. I went through the program that I used previously. Sorry, I'm hitting the wrong buttons. Okay, there we go. All right. I am not good at talking and clicking, I guess. So last week I went through Riverside and kind of showed what was available. And then I was like, I think I kind of did this in reverse. So this time I have PowerPoints where I want to talk through the development piece, and then I'll end on some of the other stuff. But the development piece is a huge part of this. And the reason is if you don't do the development piece of your idea, you're not going to make it. I mean, I've read so many articles. And so here are the recommendations. I'm going to do that. So the most common format for this is it's typically about a 40-minute show. Most are between 20 to 60 minutes. At least 2 episodes a month. I'll be honest, I've been able to do 1 episode a month because of editing, which I found a faster way and it's going to go faster now, but I wasn't doing the right things then. I would say anywhere from 10 to 12 ideas for an episode. And we'll get more into the details of that. But when I was thinking about doing the profound autism, I literally wrote down ideas for the show, like what would I want to cover? Well, safety and security, um, aggressive behavior and how you manage that in public, putting your child into a facility. That was our first one, was putting your child into a facility. It's rough because it's hard to talk about those things. But it was a really good episode because almost nobody knows what that experience is. And then we had one with her little daughter that's 7 years old and what her experience was like with her brother, etc. So we started writing out ideas though, and I had at least 10 to 12. So I was like, okay, good. But again, I've been thinking about this for over a decade. So, oops. Okay. So before we move on to this, okay, I didn't want to move on yet. Pull this back up. So before we move on to, oh, sorry, I am somewhat tech savvy. Okay. Before we move on, just by show of hands, is anybody interested in actually creating a podcast? Have you thought about it? Are you just listening? No. Have you thought about it? Are you interested? Even if it's just a little bit. Can you raise your digital hand if you are interested in doing some kind of podcast for whatever reason? Okay, I see a couple hands. Okay, so what I would like everybody to do, and I might ask some of you who raised your hands to volunteer, but what would you want your podcast to be about? So if anybody wants to share, that'd be great, but take a minute and think, if I were going to do a podcast, what would it be about? And for those in particular, what kind of shows would you want on the ones you already are interested? So Elizabeth, I'm not sure if you raised your hand because you have an idea already. Oh,
Yes, I have two ideas right now.
okay.
One is to do a Girl Scouting podcast because I have lots of groups and just love the subject, or a politics type podcast.
Okay, and so and you can take a minute if you're not ready because I gave you like 0 seconds, but do you
That's
know some
okay.
ideas that you would want, like what in particular a topic might be, something you could talk on
Oh,
for 20, 30?
topics are no problem for the Girl Scout one because there's so much. My specialty is outdoors and the outdoor journey, and people who love to cook, hike, sing, make things. So like I would probably have too many things to talk about on that. The politics one would just be sharing discoveries, kind of like they do here
Mm-hmm.
at the NWSOFA group. And that would be both would be fun, actually. They'd be nerve-wracking at first, of course, but I think it'd be fun.
Fun is a great thing. The more fun that you're having with this, the better, because it can be intense amount of work,
Yeah.
depending on how much of a perfectionist you are.
I'm kind of, but I don't care. If I goof up, I can always erase it, can't I?
Oh, yes.
Maybe.
This is the thing. And I'll show you here in a minute. You can do live or you can do recorded. So there's two options.
Gotcha.
You can edit or not edit. There's lots of options, and it's really what you're comfortable with. Mike
Okay.
yeah, my podcaster and I don't know why I can't say that word. Um, we're a little we have some character in our language sometimes, and I'm like, ooh, do I want to include that because it's super funny, but it might offend somebody. And so I'm constantly balancing like what I want people to know, and it needs to be entertaining, but also I'm trying not to make too many people angry.
I think
Um,
it'd be fun to interview people too that you meet, and that would be so much easier, I would think, to fill up your time and then, okay, great, thanks for coming. I enjoyed this.
absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what one of the other woman I work with and I we we started out talking with each other, which were kind of like interviews, but then pretty quickly, we found that interviewing guests is a really good way to add a new bit of flavor while staying on the same topic, because it can get boring hearing me and my friend talk about being parents. I mean, at some point they don't want to hear it anymore, I think. But
Well,
but we brought in her daughter and interviewed her. And first of all, it was adorable because she's 7, so entertaining. But also, she gave some honest answers that I don't think most children would talk about with their neurotypical brothers and sisters, right? So, absolutely interviewing. I was mentioning to Bill earlier that I've started just randomly asking people that I think would be so like would be good for the podcast. So I took my son to get his haircut, which has been a whole debacle to get through because a lot of these kids struggle to get haircuts. And the woman that was cutting his hair, I was talking to her and she was like, "Oh yeah, I spent years, I'm really close to this family, and I spent years with them working to get their son's haircut." And he was like a man, he wasn't like a child. And started on the floor, moved on to the next point, until he now sits and gets his haircut. And she goes to the weddings of the daughters of the family. Like,
oh
it's
my gosh, was this just something that happened? Did you know about this before you went?
nope,
No,
nope.
I'm
I just started
surprised.
asking people. That's something you have to get a little comfortable with too. Promotion and asking people things to do these things.
Oh,
But she
I
was
should
happy to do
probably
it.
stop talking to you because I know you can do this, but I see some other hands. I don't want to,
Okay, yeah.
take
Well,
all your time.
yeah, you're good. Okay, Beth,
Hi.
what's your idea?
So I want to do like the view where we have like 5 of us and we could possibly still do it from different locations, but we would all bounce off each other and interview people from time to time as well.
I'm thinking BiPAPs.
Yaps.
BiPAP. It's a bizarre and silly inside joke that has
Yeah,
to
okay.
do with moving from place to place in a Prius, and I don't know.
I know.
It's like it involves lipstick and all sorts of things. So I think it's
Right.
definitely podcast material. So no doubt.
Yeah, and so again, different personalities, people who are comfortable talking, and because I'll be honest, especially being on these meetings, and I don't mean this negatively, and hopefully nobody takes it that way, but some people's voices are more engaging than others, right?
Yes.
So all these things are going to matter as you're deciding who to use. But absolutely, I love that idea, Beth. That's a wonderful idea. I love it. Love it so
Yeah,
much.
because I think like I have, some decent information to share, but because I have such like a monotone voice, and that like I always wish that I had a voice like Cecilia, like very animated and just kind of a little bit higher and so
This is what you're doing. You're going to put a little earphone in, and you're going to be her seer now. Just talk.
right.
But you do not have a monotone voice.
No.
Okay.
It doesn't sound monotone to me.
Okay.
Okay. Great idea. I love it. Christine? Mm,
We asked you to unmute. There should be something in front of your screen saying unmute, Christine. We'll come back to you. Can you?
that's fine. Hopefully the rest of you have kind of thought though too about, what would I want to talk about? What is interesting? And so the thing I love about the information so far, like for example, what Beth brought up, I love the idea because it's a concept certainly that's been done, but you could do so much with that it could be 100% entertaining. People could really enjoy it and get a lot of information from it, right? Because a lot of times on podcasts, people are also looking to get more information, right? Learning. And so let me go back to I'm
I think
trying to
that
be,
I think they want to be those 2 chicks from Oklahoma, but 5 of them. in the BiPAP situation. So the two women from Oklahoma who have a podcast whose name I can't think of at the moment, but they're both funny and informative. Hang
Yeah,
on,
the two blondes.
hang on.
Yes.
It's just I envision it to be that kind of a podcast that you
Yeah, me
guys come
too.
up with. Okay.
Yeah, and I love it. And oh, you did mention worrying about people being in the same area. That isn't a problem because you can record from 5 different places in the United States. You just send out a link and do it that way. Um, it really just depends on like how you want to manage the format. With the podcasting websites, the one I use and the one that gets recommended a lot is Riverside. It's just more user friendly. It's very point and click. And I have example here because I have the website open. Um, Let me go to the home. Sorry. My friend and I do not dress up because we do audio only. So we always look lovely when we're doing these things. We're busy moms. Um, anyway, so whenever you want to set up, you just send a link to somebody. It's really easy to do. Um, but she's in Georgia and I'm in let me show you this one. She's in Georgia and I'm in Florida. So we're actually set apart. And then you can get multiple people. So like this one is the interview with her daughter. She was on there, I was on there, and her daughter was on there. So we had 3 different views. And you can do so much with this. So even in the settings, here, let me show you the settings real quick. Even in the settings, when you have studio settings, there's so much you can set up to just make it easier for you, for the recording, if you want it standard or advanced, all these different options. Now, when you're doing OBS, you kind of have to pick these options.
What's OBS, Sabrina? Maybe I missed
Sorry,
it.
OBS is it's a free version of what Riverside does.
Okay.
And so, yeah, it's OBS Studio. And like I said, it's a little bit less user friendly. So, for example, let me show you right here on this video. When I click on a video, what it does is it allows me to edit it or play it. Let's say I'm going to edit it. And the nice thing about Riverside is, again, it's very user friendly. So even if you end up using OBS or whatever, I would suggest you take like a free account on here. I think they give you like 2 hours of recording for free. I would do it on here first so that you get comfortable with what it means to podcast with all the stuff kind of taken care of for you, and then move to OBS. But that's because I generally like to understand the concept before I move on. I guess it really depends on how you learn. But you can see here, their tracks are here, and you can actually separate these out and have 2 different tracks. Oops, sorry. My computer's moving a little slow, everybody.
So the audio is all recorded together, and what you're going to do is separate that audio so that you can individually edit it.
No, you don't have to
Okay.
do it that way at all. It's just there if you want to look at the 2 different ones. So, like, for example, one time we messed up the recording, and by the end, it was all mixed up. Like, my audio track wasn't matching hers. And so I was able to separate them out and look and see like what was going on, and it helped me figure out what had happened. But you can separate them, but it's easier on the first one. I wouldn't even look at these separately. The reason I'm pointing them out is because you have to add them in as an option if you want 2 separate, which you do. You want 2 separate tracks, one for me, one for her. And then they have like an ultimate track where they go together. You have to put all of that into OBS. Whereas with this one, it's all done for you. All you do is send the link, hit record, bam. It does everything for you.
So that might be what folks start with when they initially go. They would want to sit down with it, send a message, the message being a recording invite, just
Mhm.
do it. And okay,
Yeah.
maybe next week what we'll do is have you send me a recording invite and we'll do a
Okay.
little short podcast. So everybody will get to see what that looks like. I didn't mean to
Yeah.
interrupt.
No, you're good. And let me go back to my anyway, so that's that's really that is the main difference between those. I keep doing from the start, sorry. Um, this, however, is free. Right now we pay, I think, $25 for 15 hours of recording. We pay $24 a month. So OBS Studio is free. But like I said, you have to add the tracks, you have to add in the speakers, and you do have to do this on Riverside too, but it's easier on Riverside. Riverside pulls up a menu, you click, click, click. OBS Studio, you have to go through and it's just more complicated, is all. But they're both perfectly good options. Um, they're not the only ones, they just seem like to be the most recommended. Um, there's pros and cons of each. Uh, if you're using one person versus two people, there's some certain studios that are better for one versus two or more people. Riverside and OBS don't have those issues, it's other ones. But there's just pros and cons of each. How easy it is, if it's point and click, how much it costs. Obviously, you got pros and cons of each. The cost can be wildly different. It goes from everything to free, to like I pay $25, $99 for a business suite on that. So it just, the pricing really depends on what you need, what you're capable of, and what you're comfortable with. Like I said, though, I would start with Riverside because it is the most recommended and it is user friendly. And podcasting is not easy to start with. So making it easy on yourself is the best option. So you might be wondering what you need as far as like equipment and stuff. Uh, a microphone obviously is needed. You can use something as basic as headphones that incorporate a mic to do a professional setup. There are different mics for different purposes. So for example, if you're going to be podcasting or recording rather inside your house where there's not a lot of noise, then you might want to use like the mic I bought that was about $70. It's really good for indoor podcasting where there's not a lot of noise. But if you're out and there is like a lot of ambient noise, you might use one of those. I don't know if you've seen them, the little hand mics that people use. Those tend to be better for that more dynamic setting. Um, you need a computer or a phone with a video camera, obviously. You don't have to have headphones. I use them because I have hearing issues and it's just easier for me. I use a 2020 Mac with a mic that cost about $70. My co-podcaster bought a setup that had two mics, and like all of this other like digital creating fancy stuff. We've used exactly 0% of all that fancy stuff. So my suggestion is to start small. Don't get a whole setup. Start with the basics. You might get like an inexpensive microphone or whatever. Use your computer. Just keep it simple at first, and then if you're dedicated, you can add on later. And all that stuff can be bought pretty much, I don't know, online. So we were talking about the prepping, and sorry, my dog decided to get noisy. So like I said, come up with 10 to 12 episode ideas, and I mean, before you touch anything else, you should have a paper and pencil, the most basic stuff, and you should write down your idea and come up with at least 10 to 12 episodes. Then you decide on which topic you want to do. So whenever I pick my topic, I write out a list of questions if I'm going to be doing an interview or if I'm just even going to be talking to somebody. I'll write out what I want to know from them or what content I want to make sure we cover. And listen, this is a really important piece because it is very easy to get off tangents. And the people who do these podcasts usually are talkers, right? So they get off topic often. And so it's a good way to keep things moving forward. And then you have to determine if you'll be streaming or recording. Obviously, the benefit of recording is that you get to edit it later. You don't have to, but you can. I, in no way, shape, or form, would ever, I don't know, maybe one day I'll be comfortable with streaming. Right now, I'm most comfortable with recording because I can edit all my silliness out. Um, the nice thing about some of these things is these programs is that they have AI editing. I did not use it in the beginning. That was a terrible choice on my part. It significantly reduces editing time. When I first started, I believe I was spending like 3 hours per 10 minutes a podcast editing. Now, I am a bit of a perfectionist, but I didn't use the AI in the beginning because I didn't trust it. Um, or I thought it would take out so much or change things that I didn't like and then I wouldn't know how to fix it. But after I got comfortable doing the editing on my own, because with Riverside, you basically, and it is crazy easy, um, you just go through and you'll see it transcribes everything you've said. And if you want to remove something from it, you just highlight it, delete, or you can hit the trash can. I just hit delete. You can mute a person, just one of us at a time, so that the other person is talking, because Cassie and I talk over each other. Big surprise, we're talkers. Talkers do that a lot. And so you can do it. It's so easy to make those adjustments. Now, I will say Cassie and I only do audio. So the video also gets cut, and so it might look a little choppy. I have not bothered with that yet, but you can also use all of these AI tools, which includes only having one person at a time, whoever's talking show, which might fix some of those cutouts. We just are doing audio, so we don't worry about it. My suggestion is to start with audio and then move to video. Um, and that was suggested to me by others, but teach their own. But yeah, see, it says cut 439 pauses. So I can just apply that and I don't have to go back and edit all that. It'll give you suggestions for fluff. They'll be like, is this really part of your content? No? Okay, we'll delete it. Magic audio sounds. So like if you are using two different kinds of mic or whatever, setups are different. And so what'll happen is I'll use something basic like sorry, I'll use something basic like so sorry. Sorry, I thought I was gonna sneeze for a second. Anyway, now I lost my place.
You start it so easy, it takes out all of the fill in the blank. You were talking about editing, AI.
Yeah, so it takes out all that stuff for you. It'll do the individual. And then even when you export, there are other options like smoothing out the sound or, so if you're worried about those things, like if you start with somebody who maybe has the wire headphones that come down and they got like a little mic on it. Well, those mics are not usually great. And so you can hear them, but it'll be really quiet and almost staticky. And again, you apply those filters, it'll raise the sound to be equivalent to the other person or fix them both because I apply it to both. It does all these little things for you that allows you to have these fixes without having to put in a ton of extra effort or time or having to totally re-record something because it was not the good sound. So that's why you want to use these too, because it makes your life a lot easier. But you can still use these editing tools on videos that you've taken. You can upload and do editing too. So there's lots of options here as you go through this and do the podcasting. And again, there is a ton of videos and stuff out there. It just takes a long time to go through. So I'm trying to like give you what I know. I see somebody says, does AI editing make the podcast sound unnatural? So that's the thing by removing all the human moments and pauses. So I do go through and make sure as I'm listening to it that it sounds natural. And sometimes I do have to make adjustments, but I can almost always fix it. I have very few times where I've been like, I've lost words, or like one time her daughter, her daughter was very soft. So a couple times I lost what she was saying. It wasn't the end of the world. Um, I fixed it to the best of my ability. And I ask people who listen to my podcast and they say, no, they can't, they don't notice it when, because I'm like, oh my gosh, did you hear any weird pauses or anything? I feel like it sounded weird, but I'm so perfectionist that it would never be good enough for me. And they all say, yeah, it sounds great. I don't hear any of that. It's probably because I know where they are that I hear them. But yeah, no, it's very smooth. I mean, it's really smooth.
So this takes out a ton of the work that's involved in actually editing. Because I have edited audio before and it can be seriously tedious. And then blending it back together. I mean, it sounds as though they've developed a tool suite that helps anyone be a good sound engineer.
Yes. I mean, honestly, I was like, I don't know about this. I was very afraid to do it. And I am willing to try things all the time. Sorry, somebody asked me to put this back up and I'm trying to share it again. Um, I'm usually comfortable trying new tech if I'm interested. And even I was nervous because I had tried in the past to do those things that you're talking about, like doing the editing when we didn't have these things to make it easy for us. And it was so
It's hard.
traumatizing.
It is
It's
hard.
hard.
No, and if you have any, I'm going to use your word, perfectionist in you, it's damn near impossible.
Oh yeah. I gave up very quickly. I was like, this is going to drive me crazy.
Good thing it was a short run and you found the AI tools.
Thank goodness, because I would not have lasted.
What screen is it that is, have we got the right screen up for Beth? I'm sure she wants
I'm
to
not
see
sure.
something.
Is it this one or?
Hang on, I'll unmute her and we'll find out. Maybe.
She said yes.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one.
Right.
When,
So
when we're presenting, we have a limited view of the audience. So sometimes we do need guest feedback and help to know what it
Yeah.
is that you're actually seeing, guys. So thank you.
yeah, thanks. So like I said, there's tools to balance the sound or even eliminate the sound of the other person. Like for example, my son, he's 16 years old, but he still does things like he does this moaning thing and he was standing behind me moaning for like 15 minutes, just making this like weird sound. Sounded like a ghost was haunting me or something, and it was able to take that out
Mm.
while I was talking. So I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, that'd be tough.
Um, the last thing it does that makes your life so much easier than again those initial video editing software is that it creates summaries and video shorts for you. So again, going back here,
And what do you use those for?
for TikTok, for YouTube shorts, for um, anything that you need like a minute video or whatever, Facebook, social media, really.
So it's just kind of
Um,
an outtake that it extracts from your podcast so that you can post it somewhere and people might be encouraged to come listen.
right.
Okay.
So when you get done with your podcasting, you get done with your editing and you export, well, it has the edits here. I'll talk about exporting in a minute, but yeah, so like for example, some of these are my edits, but they also did some as well so that you could okay, this is not working with me very well. Sorry, okay. Let me go back. I feel like something's wrong here. There we go. Sorry, it got kind of it wasn't willing to work with me. There we go. Made for you. Sorry. Oh, I can't. Why does it keep going to edit? Okay, there. It's this video stuff does take a lot of like resources. So it doesn't
It
always
is.
move quick.
It is machine intensive to do this.
Yeah. Yeah, it takes a little, yeah, very machine intensive. So as soon as okay, it's not usually this short. I don't know what's happening, but
Because
anyway.
you're in Zoom. That's why it's this short. You have extra resources.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's a good point. So yeah, these 58 seconds, 53 seconds, this could easily be, they've edited it for you. Now, obviously, I haven't listened to a lot of these because we are not doing, like, we're still working on getting our social media working out. But let me see. It's very intensive with the computer, so I wasn't sure if this would play or not. It's gonna take a minute probably.
Give it a second. We're used to watching screens roll. Rebecca's just constantly like getting thrown off because her Mac decides she's had enough. So it happens. We understand.
Yeah, it's this and it does add a little bit to the time. Like I said, I don't have like a brand new computer or anything, so that might not help. But anyway, I'll come back to that. But it creates those summaries and videos. And by summaries, I mean they're these short paragraphs that actually you can use because
Right.
huh? Sorry.
You see adult autistic people.
Oh. I was like, who's talking?
And
Your podcast.
It is my podcast. It's going too slow right now.
you can tell, like the DMV.
Okay. This is going too slow, so I'm just going to stop it. But you get the idea. It gives you a minute of, I'm going to close this.
It's going to keep talking to you otherwise.
I know. I'm like, please stop talking. So it does move a little slowly, so sorry about that. But you get the idea. It gives you an opportunity to put things up for, where you're going to have a short attention span. TikTok, Instagram, whatever.
So is it generally true that those kind of 1 minute videos that I see in those formats can lead you to something else? Because it seems as though they're always trying to invite me to do something.
Invite you to do something?
Listen to a full podcast, buy something. I mean, all of those 1 minute videos are encouraging me to do something. What else do you do to promote your long podcast, or you're not there yet?
Right. No. So we are still working through. I had some issues with us figuring out because we don't do video and we look horrible. So we don't want to put those on TikTok because we're too vain. So we're trying to figure out how to figure something else, other content that we can show, like pictures or whatever. But yeah, and then part of that would be that we would post on that video that was on TikTok that maybe has pictures of our kids while we talk about something for 1 minute in the background, about, having CPS called on you or whatever, like whatever topic we happen to be talking about, because these things happen a lot with parents, like, again, because people don't understand. Where you'll have these difficult moments. So yeah, those 1 minute talks are supposed to get you
Inspired.
draw you in to listen to the podcast.
Yes.
And so we have a link, not a link tree, although I'm going to look into that now. We have what is, I don't know, I call it website light. It's like a website just for like our links and stuff to Facebook and everything.
But you're promoting it somehow, so that's good. I mean, you have to get started in order to get better.
Yeah, and so we've promoted it on our different areas. We just haven't done the shorts yet because, again, we have to figure out what we're going to do there. But we're almost there. We're very close. And today I figured out what I was doing wrong on YouTube. So it is a learning experience because you don't just have to learn how to edit videos or everything else. And I'm getting to this in just a minute. You have to put it out there. You have to promote it. You have to publish it. You have to do all of this stuff, which is very difficult and takes, time. And so one more thing I wanted to say on this, it creates summaries. So whenever you go to publish on YouTube or Apple Podcasts or whatever, they usually want a couple things from you. They want a title for the episode. They want a title. So you have to come up with, obviously, a title for your group, podcast, whatever. And then you come up with a title for that particular episode. And then you also come up with a summary for that particular episode. Well, for those of you who maybe don't like writing so much, they create these summaries and they're actually really good. I copy and paste and then edit what they write. So that's really convenient too, because again, time is the thing here, making sure you don't waste time because there's plenty of time to be spent on this and it's easy to waste. For publishing, there are many places that you can go. YouTube. For YouTube, you have to have a video. For YouTube Music, I believe it's a podcast, no video. That's why I'm saying, like, I think I finally figured out what was going on with YouTube and why I was struggling. Um, any social media accounts, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, like there's lots of places you can do the shorts, and promote those things. And then I know we're boycotting Spotify right now. Um, but the most common places where people listen to podcasts are Apple Podcasts and Spotify. There are other options like Buzzsprout, and there's some more. You can look through them and see which one fits best for you. Obviously, the big deal is these guys are going to have the most listeners. That being said, another element of this is making money. So I highly encourage you, if you're interested in the money aspect, to go in and look at the creator account information on these different places, because they usually have requirement. Like Spotify, I think, has like a minimum of 12 episodes have to be published before you get anything. And then you have to have like, I don't know, 1,000 unique visitors or something. I can't remember all the details, but they do lay out how much detail in detail how much you have to do in order to get money off of it. Some of the publishing places makes it easier for you to make like promote and sponsor your stuff. I have not used them at this point because money wasn't the goal for us. It was more about just getting out there this information and hoping to educate people.
I mean,
But
this
if
is not only for monetization, it's also to get into what is, in air quotes, referred to as the YouTube algorithm. You have to have a minimum number of views and things. So
Mhm.
getting yourself recognized on YouTube can be a real challenge.
Yeah. No, a lot of these places are a real challenge. Just because there's so much content out there. That's why I was saying if you can really find a unique either topic that a lot of people don't talk about, or you have a really unique perspective. So I think I wrote this up here earlier. Did I? Oh, yeah, sorry, I know where it is. There. So one of the things like that I was saying is be unique. That's really going to be important for interest piece, obviously. So maybe you have a unique topic. Profound autism is a relatively niche topic because most people don't have experience with profound autism. And even with that, specifically parents talking about living 24/7 with a child with profound autism. So it was a pretty unique topic to begin with. The perspective is from mothers, but we bring in other perspectives too, like brothers and sisters. My mother's going to get interviewed, the hairdresser. I also asked my former teacher of my son, special needs teacher. So all these people are going to be interviewed. So those are different perspectives that we're bringing in. Um, and like, for example, maybe you want to do a political podcast. Well, there's lots of political podcasts. Why is yours unique? Well, maybe the perspective you take. Maybe you are, you want to do politics, so you do positive politics, right? Maybe you talk about all the good stuff that's happening, and that's your unique take on it. Because some people just, they do kind of want to hear the good stories, got it down to listen to the news nowadays. Format matters. So I know like when I believe
But
it
you
was
didn't.
Beth said
So
interviewing
close.
people
Okay,
was
good.
important. Interviewing people is definitely a great idea because like I said, what we found is we kind of I got bored with listening to the two of us talking. If I was bored with it, I was afraid everybody else was going to get bored with it. But we realized bringing in people, obviously, that gives us a whole new perspective. It gives us a lot more information and just another personality in the show. I mean, she was, the 7-year-old was adorable. People loved it. Obviously, she has a lot of personality. She's got a lot of character. If you're going to listen to one of my podcasts, go listen to the one with Through Me. It's great.
Speaking of which, will you tell us the name of your podcast again? Because folks have asked.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's called Caring for Autism. I'll
I'll drop it in the chat for you. You just tell me what it is.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, it's only on Spotify right now, which I know a lot of people aren't going to want to go on, which I completely understand. I'm just not undoing it all right at this second because it was a lot of work to get to that point. But hopefully we'll get on YouTube. But it's called Caring for Autism, um, Profound Uncertainty. And honestly, our title speaks a lot of it because the profound part is obviously related to Neil and autism, but also I had no idea what I was doing. I was as clueless about raising a kid with autism as probably everybody here is who has never done a podcast is about podcasting. Like I didn't know what I was doing. And there's so much uncertainty because different kids get different treatments, so different outcomes. There's not a recommended way. I mean, and so all of these things were, you know, part of that uniqueness, right? That people don't hear about.
That's great. I mean, I think that you have given us a rich history and a lot of information to think about going forward in terms of podcasts. So thank you very much. Like I said, maybe next week we'll do a little one and see what happens. You and I will talk and see if that's possible. So do we have any questions on podcasting? I know that was a lot.
Sorry.
No, no, you were a rich, deep well of information. Not a lot, as in you were too much. So I apologize for my choice of words.
Oh no. I talk a lot. I know.
Okay,
Podcast.
Beth, a podcaster, you raconteur.
So
Go
I
for it.
obviously have to go back and watch the first episode. But just so when you save your podcast, does it just go into a file into your computer? You can just put it out there whenever you're ready. You just
So
drop it into the source or however. I mean, you follow their, you know, their
She's
their
going to give us a little
methodology.
more. She's going to give us a little more detail, Beth. I think she knows exactly what you want to do.
Okay.
yeah. So our stuff, it actually what happens, and this is really interesting. As you're recording with Riverside, both anybody who's on it, let's say you have two people only, each one, their part of the podcast, their video, their audio downloads to their computer and then re-uploads to the website because if you have a internet break or whatever and you just leave the record on, it can match everything back up because it's still recording you even if you're not. I mean, not if you like disconnect from Riverside, right? But you're like still there because it'll glitch up and stuff. If it just you leave the record on and it will record everything that's happening on your end and their end because it's individual. And then it gets uploaded there again. I do not keep any of this on my personal computer yet. I am thinking about downloading, and yes, you can download, and you can even create. I mean, you don't even have to edit there. You can download, edit with something else. It will give you all of that. That is an option. I have not chosen it because I'm using the user-friendly option. But yeah, that's where it's housed is really there. But I believe we could download and delete anything we didn't want there and it would go away and free up our space, stuff like that. We just haven't gotten there yet. We probably need to.
Merle.
Hi. So my question, can you talk a little bit more about the having 12 episodes? I think when I first saw that, I thought that meant 12 ideas per episode, but I think now what you were talking about is having ideas for 12 episodes.
Yes.
And the difference between picking the topic, because I'm not grasping all that.
That's okay. So the first thing you need to think about is what do you want to talk about? Like the big idea, the thing you want to do. Mine was profound autism, right? That was my
Right.
big idea. I want to talk about being a parent of a child with profound autism. And that it's almost like a mission statement. What's your mission? What are you trying to do here? What are you trying to talk about? And then underneath that, it's like all the details. So for example, one of our first episodes under the big topic. I'm going to use different words. One of our first episodes under the topic was putting your child in a residential facility.
Right.
And so we had a 40-minute conversation about what we went through, how it felt, all the stuff we had to Google, how hard it is to find this information, yada, yada. Another episode we had was with Remy, and it's about her being the sister of a profoundly autistic brother and what that was like for her. And so, she would run and hide in her bedroom when her brother would get upset. And she felt like her mom didn't always give her attention. But she's cool with it now. I don't know. The kid's really cool. But so that's another topic. So I'm at 12, or sorry, another episode. So 12 episodes under a topic.
Okay, so that was a preparation thing. You were getting prepared to do the podcast and you set all that out.
Yeah,
So
it's the
topics
first.
and then
Sorry, go ahead.
episodes. That's okay. That makes it clearer.
Yeah, it's the first thing you should do because literally everything I read said if you don't have 10 to 12 ideas, don't even bother. You're not there yet. Keep going. Keep figuring it out until you find it,
Don't know what you want to talk about, you're not going to have an episode. And if you don't have more than one episode, you're not going to have a podcast.
And I will say, I went through rounds of deciding on this. The reason I had the answer when I talked to my co-podcaster is because I've been thinking for over 10 years, how do I get information to parents who need it, who don't know about ABA? Or there's all these, some very wacky methods to heal or cure or whatever your child with autism. And you have to dig through all of that and figure out what seems right and what seems wrong, because sometimes it's literally doctors saying some crazy stuff. And so just going through the experience, I was so annoyed. I couldn't find any information. And so I tried to create a website. I had thought about doing a blog. I mean, I went through all these different things and like initially started them and I couldn't get there. So by the time I got here, I had thought about it for over 10 years. So if there's anything you've been obsessed about for 10 years, that's a good topic.
You were bursting with content, in other words. You had no
Yeah.
problem coming up with material. Well, that's great. I think that's really important.
It is. It's very important. It's going to be crucial to you being successful as a podcaster.
Christine has been trying. Oh, there she is. Go, Christine. You're here.
Oh, okay. I know I unmuted, but
We can hear you. Go ahead. What did you
Okay,
want to
good.
say?
all right. So I wasn't raising my hand before to tell you about an idea, but now I have an idea. I mean, I do have an idea, had an idea then, but I've clarified it. So my idea is the title, Boring Politics, Just the Facts. And I would like to have a podcast where it is very boring to watch, maybe 10 minutes of just the facts, or maybe not even that much. And then there could be a conversation like we have when we get on here. But the podcast would be just sharing facts with no emotion or opinion. That's it.
I love it. Just the facts, ma'am. Love it. I love that idea. That's a really great idea. One, because I watch a particular woman on TikTok and she's really straightforward and not overly dramatic. Like she doesn't get hysterical about this stuff. But other people I watch absolutely freak me out. I like the one that doesn't freak me out and keeps everything calm. So just the facts would be nice. I just need to know what's happening without having to hear any bias. I want it straight, quick, and easy. I don't want to have to Google 3 times to find out if this is correct. So I love that idea.
Yes, and there was a lady that also mentioned she wanted to do something political, so maybe we could get together.
Yeah, and yeah, absolutely. If you 10 episodes on that seems pretty easy.
Yeah, but finding those facts.
I was about to say, so that is the
Yeah.
difference in what you're doing and what I'm doing.
Mhm,
I am not really at a place where I do a lot of research because I've done so much that it's like, look, this is what I think. But
Right.
with yours, yeah, definitely. Your prep is going to take more effort probably than mine does.
Mhm.
But it's a great idea. I love it.
Thanks, Christine. I'm glad you got back around and were able to ask your question. That was great. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Elizabeth,
Thank you.
go. You're welcome.
I had something for Christine.
Oh.
Her titled Boring Politics, Just the Facts. You might want to think about that some, because if I see the word boring, I just go, okay, let's find something exciting. So the ideas that Sabrina had were really good. You could say short politics, or, you know, uh, in a nutshell, or whatever you want to choose, but not boring. That's just my advice, though. Go ahead, do it if you want. That's all I had.
So I will say one quick thing that I haven't mentioned yet. Throw your ideas around to people that you know and trust. Throw your ideas around, have discussions with them, see what they think of things, talk about your title with them, have them listen to your podcast before you publish it. I ask friends and family to dig in and follow. I made all my family follow stuff. I have a big family. It counts. But yeah, definitely get feedback from people and then do what you really want. That's always my advice about getting advice, though.
Well, thank you. You've done wonderfully. If there are no more questions, we're going to pop over to Rebecca and we're going to talk a little bit about the link tree. Thank you again, Sabrina. That was wonderful.
Yeah, that was super informative. I feel like I learned so much. And if I were a talker type person, I feel like I might want to do a podcast, but I'm not. So I'm not.
I would like to script it and have automated voices say it. So as long as I can write it out, and if somebody else say it, that's my part.
Oh, Rebecca, you're gonna do a podcast, sister.
Ugh.
I think you're a BiPAP.
Is there on
Bypass.
The View, is there one that just kind of sits there and laughs at everything that people say? Because that's me.
Yeah, Whoopi Goldberg.
You can do it.
Okay, there we go.
You
I'm
just
in.
randomly scream out something.
I'm in. All right, guys. So I just put in the chat a link, and it's to our new link tree. And basically, what a link tree is just a list of links. So here, I'll put it up on the screen. You can access it on a computer, you can access it on your phone. It's kind of just a great little one-stop shop of everything NWSOFA. And so we're really trying to make sure that everybody is aware of this resource. Not just beginners or newcomers, but definitely them, because it is really helpful. But everyone. So what it is kind of just, like I said, a one-stop shop of all the places or all the ways that you can engage with NWSOFA. And so you can see sort of toward the bottom, it's got links to the Substack, the Blue Sky account for NWSOFA, the YouTube page. So if we click here, you can actually see that our video, our session today, is actively streaming to this page right here. And we are live, so it's like pretty cool. Anyway, and
is it safe to say, Rebecca, that this is sort of a landing page? Because we hear folks all the time saying, what's the address to? What's the QR code to? So it seemed like it might make good sense to put something like this in place so that we could give people a destination for that.
yes, so we are trying to make this sort of a landing page, one-stop shop, a home base. If you're looking for anything NWSOFA related, this is sort of the center of the web, and you can choose to go off in any of these directions. So I started by walking through all of the social media accounts. There's also this Zoom meeting offering, and that takes you to the Mobilize page for NWSOFA. So you can see all of the upcoming Zoom meetings that are scheduled, and you can register for them if you want. But it is pretty handy dandy to have them all right in front of you. So if you're ever like, dang, I wish I had that, um, this is a good place to go find it. Other things in here, if you ever want to like cough up $5 to hand over to Bill and his organization, you can donate. There's another place where you can see the schedule this week. This has more information in it than the Mobilize posts might have. This lives on the NWSOFA website, but it'll have a lot of the same information as Mobilize. And then the top, I realize I went kind of like backwards, but these top two links are kind of important, and I wanted to end with those so that everyone has them in their mind. So we have a welcome kit for newcomers, and we have a sign up form. So I'll just click this welcome kit. It's just a quick 7 or 8 page kind of a PDF, and it has just some helpful information if you're new here. Make it a little bigger. So if you want to be part of the club, you got to follow the rules. And, you know, if you've been around a couple of these meetings, you're pretty used to them. They're pretty straightforward. We're just nice to each other. And we don't self-promote and we don't attack each other. Then it talks about how NWSOFA is both has both in-person and virtual program offerings. Obviously, since we're all on Zoom, you guys are familiar with the virtual landscape, at least part of it. But they also have in-person rallies. They do a pizza night. You've probably heard Bill sometimes refer to his current events, the MAGA group that he goes to. And there's also an annual picnic, which is pretty fun. And then it kind of walks through the virtual program and all the offerings there. So coffee conversations, unhappy happy hour, all of the issue teams, how to hands-on, sharing our stories, sorting soup, vision forward. Like there's a plethora of things. So because there are so many things, including the Discord server, we just felt like it was really handy to have a quick little guide for folks that are new, and have that be available. So if there are any new folks, I do encourage you to find your way over to the link tree and click that top option to find this welcome kit. And I'll leave off with a couple of quick plugs. If there are folks that are new and you're interested in kind of a buddy system, having like a mentor or a more one of the regulars, I guess I would say, as a partner while you're getting oriented. We have a program like that. It's called Coffee Mates. We're just getting it off the ground. And in order to sign up, you're going to fill out the sign up form. And it's the same sign up form as in the link tree, that sign up here. And you're just going to put Coffee Mates in the comments field. Betsy, you have a question? Oh, oops. You're on mute. Oh, okay.
Did that go through? Beth
didn't hear
M
you.
Beth M wants to know how she can share her screen.
I just put it in chat for her, and I'm making her a co-host so that she can most easily do that. So,
Okay, but she's gonna have to wait till I'm done.
yes. Damn it, you're going to make it through these slides.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm done now. Basically, that was my plug. If anybody wants to be part of Coffee Mates, it is getting off the ground. So if folks are interested, use the sign up form. It is that second link and it's pretty quick.
Rebecca,
And
I'm sorry. I was going to ask if this was something that you could go through a couple of steps on a link tree, maybe next week, so that we could see like how you built this. And I don't want to put you on, not now, because you're doing something else, but I thought maybe for next week we could consider how you actually started this so that folks who might want to use it can.
oh yeah, sure.
Okay, next week. Coming attractions.
Okay. Any
Rebecca,
questions? Yeah.
I have a quick one. For those who would sign up to be coffee mates,
hmm
like I don't feel like I'm probably well versed enough to do that. I'd be happy to volunteer, but I'm not sure how helpful I would be because sometimes I can't find the link because I'm dingy and I forget. So what do you say? Would you prefer people who are more established?
You know, I think enthusiasm goes a long way. And um, I think you are well connected enough that you could be like, even if you don't know the answer to that question, if somebody were to ask you a question, you would you would be able to say, you know what, I have two or three people that I could go ask, and
Okay.
then you could circle back to that person. I
Okay.
do think ideally we would want um, the kind of mentor person to have been around a while, but we don't exactly have like
If you haven't been here
floods
6 months,
of
you're not allowed to
volunteers.
play.
Yeah. So we're not really in a position to turn people away. So we'll take enthusiasm over experience.
I
Okay.
see Merle has,
Merle.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Thanks for listening to me again. So, Rebecca, you were talking, I thought you were going to talk about the first two. The second one is sign up. Is that a sign up for a new person or for people who've been around for a while or what?
So this is you're gonna use this for three things that I can think of. One is you're brand new and you want to start getting all of Bill's emails inviting you to stuff.
Okay.
Second thing is you want to be part of Coffee Mates. Even if you already get Bill's emails, you're going to sign up, and down here under thoughts and comments and stuff, you're going to say, I want to be part of Coffee Mates.
Oh, okay.
Third thing is if you're new and want to get a Discord invite, you're going to sign up in here and put in the comments, I want a Discord invite. So we're using this for multiple things, but those are the three main things.
Thanks.
Yeah.
The great one that you mentioned, Rebecca, is to start getting the email because I hear folks frequently say they aren't getting the email updates and information. So if that's not happening, directing them here would be a good choice.
Yeah.
Can I just add one constructive thought though?
Please.
It's asking for email at the top and then it's asking for email address, 3 or 4 things down low.
Interesting. Yeah.
Anyway.
I think there's some contemplation about reviewing the form. So
Okay.
that's under consideration. Good call out, Merle.
Yeah, this was not part of my construction. I wash my hands of it.
No, we catch the
kidding.
results of it when people want a
Yeah.
Discord ID.
Dr. Chris.
Hey, so just one question.
So in the form, if somebody wants to be a coffee mate, meaning I'm a new person and I'd like to be connected to someone, how do you differentiate that between the experienced person who would like to be the mentor versus the mentee, I guess is the best way. How do you want that differentiated?
Yeah, I guess we're just collecting new folks, like the newbies or the mentees
Okay,
in
that's
here.
what my question was. Okay.
Um, Mainly because I think we're going around asking all the regulars and old timers that we know if they'll be mentors.
I thought we decided it was Beth's problem to sort it all out once we started collecting names. So that
Oh
was
yeah,
my
yeah,
answer.
yeah, yeah.
It's-
She was going to be the matchmaker. That's right.
Yeah,
That's correct.
I am.
So
I am.
All right.
So meaning you could put either role could use the form then? Is that what you're saying or no? Or only use the form for new people?
Well, so just new people would use the form if they want to match up with one of us old timers, I think is what Rebecca's saying.
Okay, so the reason I asked is based on Sabrina's question, where
Mhm.
she said, I might want to be someone that, helps guide somebody along, but I'm relatively new
Oh,
myself.
yeah, I mean, that's a great way to contact us.
I was going to
So,
say, if nothing else, that form ends up in somebody's desk,
yeah,
metaphorically, and we read
Okay.
it. So what they put in there, I think we'll probably be able to decipher. I don't know. That's why we made it
Okay,
Beth's problem.
so it could be for either or.
yeah.
That's all I needed to know.
So
Thank you.
if you just want to say, hey, Beops, I love you guys, you can put that on there and we'll get it.
All right, we're starting to digress. Do we have any more questions?
No, but I see the share screen and so okay. I just wondered where it was and how to do it. And
We'll do it.
so
Share your screen. It's good to practice. This is hands-on how to share something.
that's
Just
why
Just
okay.
not your Zoom screen.
Oh,
You should be, when you hit share, you should see a bunch of screens. Just pick one that you don't mind us seeing and let's do it. Then you can be practiced.
well, wait.
Okay.
But if
So Beth, don't share your hunka chunks screen. That's private. That's just
That must be a BiPAP issue.
no.
Or do you need BiPAP when you're done looking at it? I don't know.
Right.
Okay, we're off topic.
So how do okay, wait. So
When you hit share, a
But if
screen pops up and there's a whole bunch of screens in front of it. So one of those screens, if you select it by making it blue and then you hit share, it will display to all of us. You can do it, Beth.
I don't see shit.
Okay. Have you selected share?
Yeah, share screen.
Okay. So when you click on that, what comes up? Does something come up on your screen?
Mm-mm.
No?
Not.
Okay. Hang on. Let's see what I can do to help you.
Should I have chosen a file?
Nope. No. All you have to do is, do you see the green screen? And when you click on it, you're telling me nothing happens?
I don't see a green screen either.
No.
That green up arrow button in your Zoom menu.
Okay.
It's next to the React heart. Do you see it?
Oh, look at that.
Click that. And then
Oh,
does a window open up?
yeah.
Okay.
Well done. Well done, Rebecca.
Am I
And that
sharing?
You are.
Woo!
Look at that.
I
Okay,
see
now how
ultraviolet.
yeah. Now how do I get out?
dang. I wanted to see hunka chunk.
Not too late.
Now at the top, somewhere
Oh,
on your
stop
screen.
share.
There you go. Good job.
Oh my gosh, we've increased our screen shares by like 33% or 50% or something.
Absolutely. Look at that. That
Okay,
was
share,
go ahead.
share screen, share green, and pick what I want.
Yes, because you're going to see all the windows that are open on your desktop when that comes up.
Okay,
So fastest country is now displayed. Good for you.
okay.
This is why we do hands-on how-to.
All right, this is fun.
Look at you. And this
Beth
is
is
why we
drunk
don't
with
let
power
everybody
now.
do. Yeah, that's it. She has a whole new skill set. We just up leveled your skills. It was a great call if we up leveled your skills. That was great.
You created a monster, is what you did.
Well. Chris, your
All right.
hand is still up. Did you
Oh
want?
no, it doesn't need to be. I'll lower it.
Okay, no problem. All right. Well,
right.
we're reaching the conclusion portion of our program. I'm glad everybody stayed for the fun. If
Okay.
no one has anything else, then
Although I need to say something to Beth. So, I would say now that you've acquired that skill, practice that skill, because I had that skill for a moment, and then
Mhm.
just randomly, I wasn't able to share a screen like in the middle of something. Like we were testing it, and I don't know exactly what I did. So, it's something I have to relearn exactly what went wrong to where I couldn't share again.
Okay. All right. Well, it's 2 steps. I think I can retain it.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
There's gonna be a
there are
test
other
next Wednesday.
options. There are also options on the screen for including audio or all sorts of things. So we didn't review all of the screens that are there.
Yeah, and it doesn't show every page I have open because I have like 15 open.
Right. You pick the one that you want to share by selecting it before you hit share screen. So it gives you all the screens available to you. You
Oh,
select it in blue, so it highlights, then hit share. You can share anything you have open. No hungry Hanks or whatever it is that you guys are bypassing over.
okay.
I'd be having to stop the video.
Let me get my red lipstick.
All right. We have finished the formal portion of our program, everybody.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that was formal.
Yeah. Well, that's as formal as we get here at Hands On How To. So,
All right. Good deal.
all
Thank
right.
you.
Well, thank you. And next week we'll talk a little bit about how maybe you start making a link tree, and we'll see if we can't do a little real-time podcasting. Hopefully Sabrina will be back because my skills are not what hers are when it comes to conversating. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye, all.
Bye.
So long, farewell. Auf Wiedersehen, adieu.
Hey, Stephanie, while you're
Yes,
still on the
Chris.
call, I need to reach out to you at some point and set up that. Remember the session that we were going to have with Chris
Mhm,
Hawkins before sharing our stories?
mhm.
And just set that up because that's going to have to happen while I'm on the cruise.
Okay.
So anyway, I think I have it tentatively scheduled for Monday or Tuesday of. Anyway, I'm not really sure. I'll
Yeah.
get back to you.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Bye. Thank you guys.
Bye.